This is no normal tourist destination. There's no entry without prior permission, no landing place, and a style of arrival that is nothing short of exhilarating. Once on dry land, the tourists have little time. They can stay for less than 3 hours, and their every move will be carefully supervised. This island is unique, and the dollars the visitors pay to come here will help keep it that way. Nirmal Shah from BirdLife Seychelles is now responsible for the restoration of the whole island.
We receive approximately 10,000 visitors a year, and these visitors obviously are very well controlled. Our own wardens take them around the island, and they are given a very special tour. The wardens give them a history of the island, point out special flora and fauna. One of the main things we want to do here is, after somebody has learned and maybe enjoy themselves here on this special island, they leave without having much of an impact.
7 species of seabird and 5 land birds unique to the Seychelles all fill the air with their din and occupy every imaginable nesting site. This is a tropic bird. With no large land predators, they nest where they will and have no fear of humans. The only real threats are endemic Seychelles skinks, which will take eggs and fledglings, but prefer termites. It's said that there are more lizards to the square metre here than anywhere else in the world. This is the only island in the Seychelles where native trees and plants are now dominant. 25 years of restoration work has seen to that, yet this island and its vegetation are completely dependent on the birds.
Basically, what looks like rock here is not as old as rock. It's actually a mixture of bird droppings, vegetation that deteriorates and degenerates over several years, as well as the sand that is of reef origin. So the characteristics are, it's very soft, okay, and it can be easily broken, unlike rock. For example, you can just see this, and you can see the sand as well in here. There's quite a lot of sand, and if you look at it under a microscope, you'll see all kinds of vegetable matter as well, remains of fish from the droppings of birds.
Tackling Kuzan's problems has called for tough measures. This place was not always so wildlife friendly. Coconuts continue to sprout new growth 25 years after the plantations that dominated the island were cut down. Everywhere else in the Seychelles, the native vegetation has been cleared in the name of progress. Here, they're turning back the clock. From the island's highest point, the success of the restoration work is easily seen. Birds drift and scream high above the trees that cover every available space that you'd think a tree can grow on. Back on the ground is one of the biggest winners of all, although it takes a mist net to catch one. The Seychelles fode, or tuk-tuk, was in danger of extinction. Now the island population is so great that some of the birds must leave to find nesting places elsewhere. Luciana Wagner is from Reading University in England.
To look at the fitness of the birds, you can look at the amount of fat and muscle on their thorax here. Since the island restoration started, the number just increased, and right now, you know, they're all over the island. The island is saturated. There's at least like 1,200 birds in a 29 hectares island, and now they are thriving here. And that's it.
For the visitors, it's a spectacular place. Somewhere to witness the Seychelles in a state close to the way they must have been before the first colonists arrived. That the whole place should be set in such a spectacular location just adds to the magic.
I think it's incredible. I mean, whenever I come to Kuzan very often, and I'm always thrilled when I see this island, and I'm always fascinated by people's perception of this island. You see people, whether they are naturalists, whether they are scientists, whether they are tourists coming to the tropics for the first time, they always have the same reaction. Gee whiz, wow, this is incredible. It's like no other place on earth.
Cousin is unique, and it's also a great achievement by a small band of conservationists working with very limited resources. And if visitors pay to come here because of its extraordinary and remote setting, as well as the wildlife, then that's a lesson to be noticed elsewhere in the Seychelles. Good conservation can be good for tourism, and tourists are good for the economy. Hopefully, everybody benefits.